Okay, folks, I've changed up the show a little bit because I want to get some local reporting in that's been going on. I'm your host, BKP, and BKP, good morning from the office, the voice of rural America. And the reason, if you're out there anywhere in the United States, the reason I switched this up and I did a little local news this morning is because our focus is rural America. And I'm going to tell you something, if you're out there, no matter where you're at, if you will go to your local county commissioner meetings or freeholders, whatever it's called in your area, if you will go to your local board of education, if you will go to your local city council, tax assessor, find out. This is an eye-opener. When you go and hear the amount of money that is spent in your local county, your city, your community, on certain things, it's an eye-opener. In rural America, we need to open our eyes to how our tax money is spent. And that's why I'm doing 2 local reports, and we're going to continue to add local reports here from reporters. Okay, we're going to start having reporters call in and do local reports from around the areas we cover. If you're out there anywhere in America and you're in a rural area, okay, rural American out there, and you say, hey, I would like to have a Fetch Your News in my county, get in touch with me. We could talk about that. Now, Fannin County last night, this is one I love, and I can't get too deep, but put up the picture. There's a gentleman walking away from the podium. I didn't get a chance to answer. He's at the podium standing talking. And I didn't get a chance to label these for Sam. Okay, this citizen last night, this is what rural America looks like. There's 3 commissioners there. There's to the left, there's Post 1 Commissioner Earl Johnson. And the center is the chairman, Stan Helton. And I'm going to make a Stan Helton comment, the chairman. And to the right over there is Post Commissioner Larry Joe Sosby. So this gentleman, I think his name is he's a citizen. He's talking to his elected officials. And he's talking about his property tax assessment, and his name's Glenn Holland, okay? So Mr. Holland goes up there and he's talking about his property tax assessment. Now, there's a picture I sent you with a bunch of numbers written on it, okay? If I can get that one, okay? Next. So Mr. Holland came, have you received your property tax assessment, okay, this year? Now, I'm going to talk about this. I call it the property tax scam. And everybody gets upset when I do this because, you know, that's the property tax scam is what I call it. All right? I, for one, don't believe in property tax. You work your whole life, you pay for the house, you own it, but now you need all these services that they tell you they'll provide, okay? So what this is Mr. Holland brings his tax assessment to the commissioners, and his assessment in 1 year, am I reading this right, $87,407?
Yes.
Okay. His assessment on his property went up $87,407. Okay? And he said he did no improvements, didn't do anything, didn't paint anything. He said he did nothing. $87,000, okay? Now, not to get in the weeds of property assessment, but I call it the property assessment scam. We don't have time to go into millage rates. We don't have time to explain the millage rate. We don't have the time to say why you have a 17 mills, you pay 17 mills, 18, 16, 15 mills. How many of those mills go to the Board of Education and how many go to the county, all right? Now, commissioners, which they did not, commissioners set the millage rate. And they'll tell you, I didn't raise your taxes, because they say, hey, I'm not going to set the millage rate. I'm not going to change it. So they'll tell you the millage rate is unchanged. And we went through, okay, this depression in this country, a massive recession, to where they were not able to assess the value of your property and values crashed. Okay? Now they're telling you the house you live in every year that you don't do nothing but cut the grass and you haven't really made any adjustments and you haven't painted anything, that while you were living in it last year, you should have felt the value. Just sitting out there, you should have felt the value of your house went up because it's worth more. Okay? Maybe it is. Your house is only worth as much as somebody will give you, A. And 2, it's only worth as much as you think if you put it up for sale. If you don't put it up for sale, I mean, you know, you could think it's worth $1 million. You're going to live in it. All that being said, the assessments go up. And that's how they raise revenue, is they raise the value of your county. And when they raise the value of your county, even at the same millage rate of last year, your tax bill goes up. The first thing you think is, they've raised my taxes. Well, they'll tell you they didn't officially raise your taxes. They didn't change the millage rate. Your property, you should be thankful to pay them higher taxes than you did last year because the value of your property went up. So let's say, for example, you're paying $500 a year and now all of a sudden you have to pay $800. You're supposed to send them a thank you letter. I know how that sounded, but that's the worst I can get with the logic. So let me tell you something. I understand the phones are ringing off the hook. I understand that people are not happy. And on June 2nd at 2 p.m. at the Fannin County Courthouse, you can attend the tax assessor meeting, the monthly meeting. You can bring your assessment, okay? Okay. Now, every county has a board of equalization, all right? If you say, hey, my tax assessment, the assessment of my property is wrong, you have time to fill out a complaint or a what's the word I'm looking for, but I lost it here. You have time to appeal your assessment. You have, I think, 45 days, but don't quote me on that. But you have time to appeal. Call the tax assessor office, your assessment. And many don't know because my opinion is they don't advertise it very well. It's probably on your tax bill, but they don't advertise it very well. And when you get that, you can go to what's called the Board of Equalization. Now, don't forget, if you feel your assessment's incorrect and the citizens of Fannin County, June 2nd at 2 p.m., my suggestion all over America, rural America, get your tax assessment bills and look at how much more they feel your house or your property's worth now. Okay, so that's how they raise that revenue. So that's the tax assessment. Let me see what else I got here. Last night, the Board of Commissioners, and I have to give Ms. Gazaway pretty good credit. She does her math, okay? She's the new Chief Financial Officer there at Fannin County. She does her math, all right? And last year, is my understanding, I was there, I have it on video, but last year, as the two commissioners, post-commissioners, Johnson and Sosby, claimed last night that former Chairman Bill Simons only gave them one insurance carrier to pick from. And the insurance carrier covers all the county employees, maintenance, road, tax assessors. I mean, all county employees are covered under this insurance, okay? And my understanding last year that former Chairman Simons only gave them Kevin Painter's insurance. Kevin Painter Insurance was the only option they were given. And they were told that a lot of research was done and this was the best deal they could get, and they recommended it, and the post commissioners said their words or referred to it, we have the video on it, that they had no choice, that's all they were given was one. Well, this year is different because it was shopped and they actually had three. They had MSI, that's ACCG, they had Kevin Painter's Insurance, and they had benefit support services, okay? We have the video to substantiate all this. They actually did this in public this year. They named all three prices in public of what it would cost the county per year in insurance. And then Commissioner Helton, and I'm going to say something about Commissioner Helton before we quit, but Chairman Helton looked at both post commissioners and said before voting, do you feel you've had enough time to review? Do you feel comfortable with voting tonight? Did you get to look at this? Are you satisfied? Both commissioners replied it was a lot better than it was in the past, and yes, they were able to review these on their own, and yes, they were satisfied with voting. At that time, Ms. Gazaway made a recommendation. She made a recommendation to go to Benefit Support Services. She said she had history with them and was confident that the citizens, the employees of the county, would get good coverage and was satisfied with the coverage that they would get. But here's the thing, it's going to cost the county, Fannin County is going to pay $1,741,325,000. That is the cost for insurance for the county, $1,741,325. It is $63,000 less than Kevin Painter's insurance. Kevin Painter's insurance was $63,000 higher. So, although they did like an insurance company to be local, they couldn't justify spending $63,000 more for insurance. So Benefit Support Services got the insurance. Now, I could go in to the fire trucks. They bought 3, where's my notes? Faust Corporation that builds fire trucks. They bought 3 rescue pumpers, okay, for $722,247. There'll be a turnaround in 180 days. 3 rescue pumpers for the fire station, $722,247, and I understand that can come out of SPLOST spending, not 100%. Now here's the interesting thing, and this is, I guess, my editorial of the morning. Not like I don't do that for 2 hours already. But Commissioner Earl Johnson put these 2 pictures of Earl holding the signs up. Can you put those left and right, or did you have them ready on the right? Because if you did...
they'll both be on the right, but I can...
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, here's Earl Johnson. And a new logo. I think the other one has the logo closer up, does it not? Pull that, let me have it. Yeah, okay. Fannin County, okay, that's the logo. Now, that's a new sticker. So let me explain this before we get any further, because the sad thing about this is this actually required a citizen to have to be asked to leave because of an outburst over this logo, all right? Several months ago, Mr. Johnson, in paraphrasing, made a suggestion that, you know, the county equipment needed a logo. Well, Fannin County has a large population, and this goes for everybody, but a large population of retired citizens, senior citizens have moved in, and no matter what. Fannin County has park and rec director equipment. Park and rec has trucks, equipment. Maintenance, road and bridges and maintenance, they have a lot of equipment, county trucks. Tax assessors have a lot of equipment, all right? Building inspectors, land development, they have a lot of equipment. So if you're out on one of these dirt roads and there's somebody parked down the road with a sticker on their truck, okay, at this time you can't truly identify if it's Fannin County. And to me, it's a safety issue for all the citizens to know that when they see a county vehicle, they can actually identify it's a county vehicle, and somebody just hasn't went somewhere and made a sticker and put on there and said Fannin County. So Mr. Johnson said a couple months ago, I think, hey, let's get a uniform sticker. Let's come up with a logo. Chairman said, okay, you brought it up. Take off with it. So he took money out of his pocket. I'm not going to say how much. He told me how much last night, but I'm not telling you. So he took money out of his pocket and he went and he had 4 different options of stickers. They're going to have a reflector behind it, okay? I'm getting somewhere with this. He made 4 different copies to pick from. So at the end of the meeting last night, he got up and he said, hey, here's the 4 to pick from. So he spread them out. Which one do you like? And the commissioners all looked at them. They started talking about them, and they narrowed it down to 2. There's about 30 people in the room. All right, Commissioner Johnson goes up front of the room and he said, the one with trees, the one without trees, because they got a mountain landscape or backscape there with trees. One with trees, one without. And they let the citizens, the 30 people there, raise their hands. One with, they raised their hand, one without. And they went with that, okay? Now that's how simple it was. It's not like they're buying $300,000, $700,000 worth of fire trucks. There's just getting a uniform logo for the county. Well, one citizen, Joe Webb, and I'm going to name him, Joe Webb, got upset because they didn't follow the charter, or I don't know if that's his quote, and they didn't ask the Chamber of Commerce, and they didn't put it in the paper, they didn't advertise it. They should have put them all in there and let the citizens know. Over a $10 sticker. So let me ask you, save that picture because I'm going to come back to it, but start rolling those others. And stop, just go to the others that got left, the trucks that, okay? That is a sticker that says, I think it says tax assessor.
It says assessors and appraisers.
Yeah, assessors and appraisers. That's one of the county vehicles. Assessors and appraisers. Oh, there's another one that says assessors and appraisers. It seems, there's another one, Fannin County Land Development. Look at that one. Oh, there's the building inspector, just Fannin County on there. It's in cursive. The kids won't know how to read it. Oh, there's one that just says tax assessor on it. Is that it?
Yes.
That's not all of them. That's all the pictures. But I went out last night. I took a dozen pictures from the road equipment. I mean, that one says tax assessors. One's cursive. It just seems like the person that got the county vehicle was told, just go put Fannin County on there. Not one uniform piece of equipment. So go back to Earl Johnson. This will have a reflective background, so it will show up at night. And any piece of equipment owned by Fannin County will have this uniform sticker with the department underneath. It'll have that sticker, land use development. It'll have that sticker, park and rec. Every piece of equipment will have that sticker, and you will truly know it's a Fannin County piece of equipment. I want to give an editorial, and I want to thank Commissioner Johnson. I want to thank you for taking the money out of your pocket and making those. Taking the time when we know you're busy running your business, Johnson Paving, and doing that, because I think it was long overdue. I've always looked at that equipment and said, who's making this decision? So we showed it to you. We're going to put it up on our website, okay? Now, before I go to my final segment of the day, I want to give a shout out. This is good and bad, okay? I'm so sorry I have to do this, but I got to do it. Because I can't struggle and bring myself to tell you something, I got to tell both sides. I am watching Chairman Hilton, Stan Hilton, and I'm enjoying the meetings, okay? I'm enjoying the meetings. And I'm enjoying the workshops. And I'm enjoying him looking at a $1.7 million decision. Do you realize the health insurance was $1.7 million of your tax money? Do you realize that? I know you do. And I enjoyed last night having him look over at Post Commissioner Johnson and Post Commissioner Sosby and say, are you gentlemen comfortable with voting tonight? Have you gentlemen seen enough information? Have you been able to review this? I thought, you know what? They're spending $1.7 million, okay? And he's actually going thoroughly through this. A good steward of the taxpayers' money. So then it comes to the fire trucks. And I look and they're spending $722,247 of your tax money. They did not just do it last night and say, Larry, that's Larry Thomas, but this is the way it usually goes, fire chief. Larry, what do you think? You like this one? You like this one? Well, all right, we'll buy that one. Didn't happen that way. The last meeting at the workshop, a workshop, mind you, all of these trucks were discussed. They opened the bids in public for everybody to see. After the bids were open, Fire Chief Larry Thomas was able to take the bids back for specifications. He created a panel. I enjoyed this. He told them, he made a recommendation. The fire chief, this is their job. Stan Helton is deferring to the people that he put in place to do their job. I see it all the time. So Fire Chief Larry Thomas went back and he assembled a panel of professionals within the fire department. And he quizzed them and had them go through the specs, and they had a meeting, and they all together said that this fire equipment would work. And then he recommended, Fire Chief Larry Thomas recommended it. He recommended Faust. And let me tell you something. He saved $40-some thousand per truck. So I think it's 120. I think it's a total of 120 off the top of my head. But he saved $40-some thousand per fire truck with this 2-week review and a panel. When they purchased, I think they saved $180,000. So I'm going to tell you the way the meetings are flowing and the openness of what's going on, I can't complain. Now, Citizen Joe Webb is upset that the citizen time where citizens are able to speak has been moved to the front of the meeting, and you get 3 minutes, and it's the first thing is, citizens' comments is at the front of the meeting, and then you can make your comments, and then they close it. Well, he's upset that it's not moved to the back so citizens could comment basically on what takes place during the meeting. I don't know that that's not a valid concern, okay? But at the same time, if you're trading off if the citizens still get to speak and the citizens still are allowed to be heard for 3 minutes, okay, as many, there's no limit, 20, 30 citizens can talk. If that's still there, and the workshops, let me tell you something, Chairman Helton, when you have a workshop, he'll just reach out in the crowd and say, come up here and look up front and get involved in this and see what you think. I've seen it happen. So I'm just saying point blank, you get in your workshops, you can talk about the workshops, at the workshops, you can make comments, put input, he'll let you get involved, and you have the 3 minutes. I'll tell you, if there's a trade-off for where the 3 minutes of public comment is versus saving $60-some thousand on insurance, saving $120,000 on fire trucks, and looking to 2 post commissioners and saying, have you had the proper amount of time? Okay? I'll take the trade-off. But I have to, before I go to break, go to my final segment, I would still dismiss, that's the nice words, the county attorney. If Mr. Hilton would dismiss that county attorney, that may just put me right over the top. I'm your host, BKP. That's Fannin County. We'll have a full story and the video up with our reporter later today. Take us a break, Sam, so we can wrap up.
20% off